Okay, that works out. So, hi, back again. Um, so today what we're doing, continuing I should say, is after giving it some time, sadly, the App Engine attempt that we had, that everything looked correct. We didn't get any error messages. But after we come back, this is the URL. As you can see, it says basic. It's the same one, the only project we have. I mean, try to run it. Still nothing so far. So I'll leave it alone. Hopefully tomorrow, we'll see better news. But until then, I'm still adamant about learning App Engine today. Because I gave myself a timeline and I want to stick to it personally. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually follow. You can't see. Let me just do this real quick. If you look up here very quickly, it says App Engine Quick Start. So that's what we're going to be going for. We're going to choose Node out of all the options. Oh, let me change that to. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. An App Engine tutorial by Google themselves. I honestly didn't know they had this. I think I knew and I forgot because I'm pretty sure we went through this at the conference that I mentioned before. So we're going to choose Node. We're going to go through it. So App Engine Quick Start. I'll show you just for a little more and then I'll bring everything back up. By back, I mean me. Okay. There we are. I'm back. Okay. And so, I'll read it to you. So App Engine Quick Start Introduction. Oh, I might just do some, okay, a lot to preface. So, if you can see from the title, I included After Dark because it's already nighttime. So my plan for After Dark streams are actually to be more laid back because usually what I'm going to be doing if I stream this late at night is getting ready for the next stream or tomorrow, whatever I'm working on. So it'll mainly be like trying out tutorials beforehand to make sure I kind of know what I'm getting into. Any research that needs to be done. Not surprised if I play some coding games or coding. There's a website called Code Wars that has like just simple problems that I can do to practice JavaScript or any other language. So I might get into those as well. So yeah, After Dark streams, lighting's not as good obviously. I only have a little lamp next to me. And yeah, it'll be more laid back. I'm a big fan of ASMR. I'm gonna want to be doing those type of coding videos as well. So I might be practicing ASMR every now and then just because, you know, nighttime, in the mood for it. So I'm actually gonna read this or try to read this in ASMR, if you don't mind. Okay, so now that we're up close. App Engine Quick Start. Introduction. This tutorial shows you how to deploy a sample application to App Engine using the gcloud command. Here are the steps you will be taking. Create a project. Projects bundle code, VMs, and other resources together for easier development and monitoring. Build and run your Hello World app. You will learn how to run your app using Cloud Shell right in your browser. At the end, you'll deploy your app to the web using the gcloud command. After the tutorial, your app will be real and you'll be able to experiment with it after you deploy. Or you can remove it and start fresh. So we're gonna start. Project setup. GCP organizes resources into projects which collect all the related resources for a single application in one place. Begin by creating a new project or selecting an existing project for this tutorial. Select a project or create a new one. I'm going to create a new one for the full experience. If it's fast and goes quick, I might do it again with basic. But as for right now, I will try a new one. What should we name our project? App Engine Project. What should we name our App Engine project? What should we name our App Engine project? Let's think. Brack. Brack. Maybe. What if we just name it Engine? Create. GCP. Oh, wait. Project setup. Oh, actually, let me check to make sure you can actually hear me. Hey, we're sounding pretty ASMR today, huh? Welcome back to Coded by Elvis ASMR. That's fun to do. Okay, so back to what we were doing. So you can see we now have an engine project made in App Engine. So, project setup. GCP organizes resources into projects. Oh wait, we read that. Oh, we have engine selected. So we're going to go to next. I had to sneeze there. Okay, so we're going to go to next. Using Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell is a built-in command line tool for the console. We're going to use Cloud Shell to deploy our app. We were actually using Cloud Shell earlier today. If you remember, we used 2 different tutorials, and the first tutorial ended with us using Cloud Shell. So open Cloud Shell. Open Cloud Shell by clicking the image, this button, right here. Activate Cloud Shell. Activate Cloud Shell button This is the first ever ASMR I've ever done live or anything, so it's a learning experience. Thank you for learning with me. Okay, so to continue, now that we've opened the Cloud shell and we're already in our engine project, we must copy this into the Cloud shell. It's cloning a GitHub repository. If you don't know what GitHub is, it's the world's biggest open source website. It's just where developers go to put up code for projects that they themselves work on or projects that other people work on. It's such a beautiful community. So now that we have downloaded a repository, so what that means is there was a project that someone made on GitHub, and what we did was we found the link to it and were able to download the same files. So now we have that project. Now we must, because we're only in the engine folder, we must go down into the folder we just made that has the project. And now, as you can see, we were just in engine, and now we are inside Node.js docs samples, app engine, hello world, standard. So this was made by Node.js themselves, I believe, since it's a docs, standing for documents. Documentation is usually something that's pretty, how should I say, not just important, but what's the word I'm looking for? Not entirely validating, that's not the word, but something similar. Something that means it shows how important what you do is. But either way, we will continue to step 3. Configuring your deployment. You are now in the main directory for the sample code. We'll look at the files that configure your application, exploring the application. Enter the following command to view your application code. cat app dot JS. I'll be honest, this is pretty fun for me. So we're going to copy this and enter it in the console. I believe that even started a server, a simple command cat. Exploring your configuration. App Engine uses YAML files to specify a deployment's configuration. App.yaml files contain information about your application, like the runtime environment, URL handlers, and more. Enter the following command to view your configuration file. First, let's see everything that get app.js gave us. Oh wow. So app.get did is it is a command or script, I think is a better term, that ran lots of commands to start the app. As we can see from the word start here. Now const app equals express is referring to a library called Express.js that I actually use. So this is something I am familiar with. App.get showing the status that it got the information correctly and safely. It's starting the server and showing that the app is listening on port on a certain numbered, I guess, frequency, you could say. Frequency. All of this is familiar to me. It is similar how I write my code. Now we will see what the app.yaml file has. As far as I can see, not much. A bit surprised. The syntax of this file is YAML. For a complete list of configuration options, see the app.yaml reference. We can check it out pretty quickly. I've seen this page before. You have too if you were in the stream earlier. So we'll leave it alone for now. And go to step 4. Testing your app. Cloud Shell lets you test your app before deploy to make sure it's running as intended, just like the And instead of working with my machine, it's communicating to theirs. So let's web preview onboard 8080. Let's see what we have so far. Hello, world. A very powerful sentence for programmers, honestly. So simple, we've all seen it in so many different ways. But every time, it has so much excitement. Hello, world means you've done something right. That you've taken your first steps. Just like we're doing now with App Engine. Thank you for taking those steps with me. Now that we've seen it, we can close our view of it by pressing Control-C. As you can see above here, we now closed it. To go on to the next step, step 5. Deploying to App Engine, the secret sauce, if you will, that we were looking for. Create an application. To deploy your app, you need to create an app in a region. To do that, we're going to use the command gcloud app create. Note, if you already created an app, you can skip this step. So if we go back and do basic after this, we can skip this step. Needed to stretch a little bit. Deploying with Cloud Shell. You can use Cloud Shell to deploy your app. To deploy your app, enter the following. gcloud app deploy. First, let's create our app. Lots of choices for the region. So all of these choices that were given are because they want us to choose the region where you want your App Engine application located. Please. Asia East. I'm not gonna read all of these. We're looking for US. I guess East. Oh, there it is. US Central. So 13. Enter. Creating App Engine application in Project Engine 2 7 8 9 0 4 and region US Central. It's really fun to just say numbers in ASMR. I'll probably just do a fun little video where I just read pi 3.1419. I don't know why. But hey, our App Engine application project was created. And now we can deploy. Deploying with Cloud Shell. Did I read that one? I believe so, actually. So let's go ahead and deploy it. gcloud app deploy. Visit your app. Oh, let's read what's being prompted first. Do you want to continue? Why, yes. Yes, we do. I've seen this before. This is a good sign. This means it's working. But it makes sense. It's the tutorial. Visit your app. Congratulations. Your app has been deployed. The default URL of your app is a subdomain on appspot.com that starts with your project ID. Engine 27890. Dot appspot.com. Try visiting your deploy application. First, we have to wait for it to finish hosting onto the URL to actually finish deploying, if you will. It's updating service as we speak. One thing that I really like about certain commands or code that run in consoles is when they show you the loading screen or a loading icon right here on the bottom left. You can see my mouse. Oh, but you cannot see it. Right there. That loading right there. I really like that because it shows that it's actually working. In the past, I've downloaded with a Git and GUI, pretty much a pseudo terminal. So, I guess you would call it an app that is similar to a terminal, just like this, similar to the command prompt I use, except it would help me use Git commands because you can't use Git commands in the command prompt. The only thing that I didn't like is that in those Git commands, it doesn't show any loading. So sometimes while I waited for things to download or update, I couldn't tell if it was working or not because it was just the same sentence sitting still. Unlike this one, now we know we're done. Oh, to be fair, with the GUI, the GUI, it would still show you the success message like this if it worked, or the error message if it failed. That was the easy part, was determining which was which. The hard part was waiting and waiting and waiting and knowing if it was time to try restarting the download or not. So it looks like we have now deployed, and we can visit it by going to here. Engine 278904 says, "Hello world." Beautiful. Now we can go into the next step. How? This is only step 5 of 8 if I feel like we're already done. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's learn together. View your app's status. You can check on your app by monitoring its status on the App Engine dashboard. Open the navigation menu in the upper left corner of the console. Then select the App Engine section. So top left, down here. We go down, 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 down. The App Engine. And here's the dashboard, just as promised. Here's the activity to be seen. No requests so far. And how you are billed. Google's very, very sure to show you how that works. So now let's go to step 7 of 8. Disable your application. Go to the settings page. I'm assuming down here. Click the disable application. This is sufficient to stop the billing from this app. More details on the relationship between apps and projects and how to manage each can be found here. Delete your project. First, let's try disabling the application. If you disable this app, a few things will happen. The app will stop serving. All data and state will be saved. Billing charges will still incur when applicable. I see no upsides. Besides your data being saved. Let's try disabling it, just to really learn the ins and outs. Just like that, we're disabled. Or our app is, I should say. And now we're able to enable the application. Able to enable. Able to enable. Delete your project. If you would like to completely delete this app, you must delete the project in the Manage Resources page. This is not renewable, and any other resources you have in your project will be destroyed. Go to IMA and Admin. Click Settings. Click Shutdown. That's actually not in the App Engine part. It is its own tool. Down, 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 down. Just kidding. Up, 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 up. Here we are. We click Settings. We click Shutdown. But let's see the last step before we shut down completely. Shall we? Step 8 of 8. Conclusion. You have successfully deployed an app engine application. How do you rate this tutorial? Excellent tutorial. Good tutorial. Okay tutorial. Poor tutorial. Unusable tutorial. I learned a lot and actually really enjoyed this tutorial. How interesting how it got cut up like that. I won't worry about it too much though. So we're going to continue what we were doing. So a recap, because I don't know if anything got cut out or was missed. Thank you. So cute, so cute. To recap, what we have been doing is we have tried to host basic once again through just the app deploy, not initting, because we already have better, I guess, proof with this way. We're going to check to see if we get the same error message that we did last time, the server not being able to connect. I think it was bad gateway 503. So let's go and check that. I will show you here. So we are on the basic project, which is where this should be. We should technically now have 3 different instances on here, as we can see. I believe this is the new one. Not a good sign so far, so let's just test them all, shall we? That one was the last one that we tried, yeah. That one was AppEdge. And finally, so none of them work, which is an issue. Let's try looking at the quick start very quickly to see if there's something. The only problem that I could imagine there being, possibly the .yaml file again. I know that's caused some issues in the past. Let's actually check out this GitHub and see if they have a .build file. Hello world. I'm so confused why this one worked, considering I have the same one, except with less notes. How interesting. The only thing left I can think of is to try following the same thing by having the Google console right here. By trying to have that one connect to a GitHub that we make. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to once again create a new project. I'm going to leave all of these alone and come back again tomorrow to see if maybe I just needed to wait and I wasn't patient. So once again we're So, round 3 of creating a project. So let's decide what to name this next try. Remember, this cannot have any capital letters. And instead of my app, let's try. I don't want to go engine again. App engine test. As we can see, this ran perfectly, which is really nice. So we're going to cd into engine test to bring up the code. So yes, it is fully connected to our App Engine test, which is really nice. So we're going to I believe this is the first step, or am I jumping the gun? Oh yeah. So, I don't think I have to commit anything because there are no changes. So, let's go ahead and push it. Okay. Now, hopefully, if we did this right, if I go here, there we go. Here's all the stuff that we just did. Perfect. So now this is connected to our Git. And from here, we can now go back to. Now that we copy this, we're going to go back to the Google Cloud. Oh, wrong one, sorry. Now I have a lot of tabs open because of keeping stuff organized. Do I need this? This. Okay. I'm gonna make a new one just to be safe and make sure I don't get confused. App engine test. Engine test. Okay, we're gonna create. Now that we're here, we go to the Cloud Shell. Make sure it's an App Engine test. So, see, this is why we have to check. We are in basic right now. We have to switch over to App Engine Test. Close here. And now we'll open the console and see if it updates. If not, we'll have to update ourselves. But luckily, oh, Fair Sandbox. This is new. So what we'll do is... Oh, okay, that's the correct one. Sorry about that. Weird name choice. But we can get clone. Okay, that went through well. So we're going to try npm start. Maybe that was the issue, was I wasn't exporting the port correctly. That could be the case. Looks like it's running well so far. So we're gonna preview. Wow, okay, the preview is working really well. That's a really good sign for us. Once again, we choose 13 because we are in the central part of the US, so that makes sense for latency and Wi-Fi and such. Okay, it went through. Now we can try deploying it. Okay, yeah, so that's what I thought would happen. So we need to create an app.yaml file first. Makes sense. So apparently this has been the biggest issue so far. So let's go ahead and I actually want to check something first. Okay, so, oh, wow, I've never actually seen that before. I've actually never done that before. I have no idea what happened, if I'm being completely honest with you. Wow, how interesting. I've never seen that before. So we're gonna go ahead and make a new one. .yaml. Go ahead and close that. So we need an app.yaml. What we learned last time was that this was technically all we needed was the runtime. Now, what I'm going to try to do is put the minimums again. I know I just realized before that we have to push it. So I'll show you that. So a cool thing, one reason I really like VS Code is they actually have a source control management place, and what that means is I would assume like 99% of people that means GitHub, right? So because it's already, it knows the connection to the Git repo that we have, we can actually just do it from here. So I've staged the changes and I write the message that I want, and this will actually update the GitHub repo that we just made. So let me put this as so I'm being a little more specific. Usually I would just say added app YAML, but I want to say with manual scaling because I feel like it might not work, and we may need to do it again by taking away the scaling by only running with the runtime. So then I'll have to update it again, and then I'll say with only app.yaml. So if I press Control Enter, you can see it was sent. And if we go to the GitHub here, and I do this, still only one commit. That's interesting. Let me check the status now. It says it's clean. That's strange, actually. Usually that pushes it over, as far as I know. Yeah, it says there's no changes. That's very strange. I honestly don't know what to do. I guess I could just... I could do that. I wonder if that technically doesn't change anything though. Okay, that's good to know. Let me just add a message then. So I'll just add that, I guess. Unnecessary, but it works. And then I'll do it the manual way since for some reason it didn't work the last way. So we'll check status. Yeah. And we'll do get status again. And now we can it was added YAML. Oh, what was it again? Oh, manual scaling. With manual. And now we'll do Git. I think Git push works fine since I'm on master. Okay. Yeah, so now if we check It says 4 minutes ago. So it did work. And I guess it just wasn't updating. That's strange. But at least we know both work, so hey, you learned both. So now that we've committed that, we can go back to the console. We're going to npm I, so it gets all the changes from the GitHub. Hopefully. And now we're going to try again, now that it should have a YAML file. Error in app.yaml. Great. Okay, so it didn't do that. What if we do pull? Okay, there it is. There we go. Now we can try it. Now that has a YAML file, we should be fine. We'll say yes. I hope now if this works, it accepted the YAML file, which is really good so far. So if this works, then we're good. And if it doesn't, then I believe the only problem will be that it's not finding the right server. And what I mean by that is I think G-Cloud is always looking for server 8080, and React app always goes to server 3005, I believe. So if this doesn't work, I think that'll be the issue. So I'll go ahead and update I'll find a way to always set the port to 8080, and hopefully that would be the final part necessary. we're just waiting for it to finish hosting, and we'll see if it was successful or not. Okay, so it ran. We're going to go and run that. First, we'll copy here. I really like that G-Cloud console does that. When you highlight it, automatically copies. Moment of truth. The long waiting time worries me, because a long wait could mean unable to connect. I've learned from experience through testing. So we can also do G-Cloud browse. If I could type G-Cloud app browse. Oh wow, it just gives you the link. Okay, that's cool. Long wait time doesn't seem very good though. So what I'm using right now is called Chrome DevTools, which if you press F12, it gives you a lot of information. There's a lot, so it's a little overwhelming sometimes. I don't know how to use too much of it. But what I'm looking at right now is looking at all the requests that are being made to see if anything's failing, and this the way things are built is if a request is made and isn't answered in enough amount of time, it is considered failed. And so that's what this red one is, even though I can't, like, this is just the name of the request. I just know that from experience. Obviously because there's no responses. So yeah, the issue is none of it's not crashing, but nothing's coming back, if that makes sense. We're not getting any information. Try one more time. I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds. Yeah, so I do believe it is a port issue, like we said, because if you remember when I tested it, when we went to port 8080, it worked perfectly. So let's actually keep going. Yeah. I know I used to do that with other ones, and I had to do server.js, so I'm trying to see if I can put that somewhere. I believe in my package.json. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere in the package that I can add what port to go to. Set the environment variable and then just modify the script as part of the package. So let's check once again which one it is. Port 8080. So we're copying this, and we are going to put it into the start script. But instead it's going to 8080, because I feel like that should be the only issue left. So now that we saved it, we go back to even though we know that this one works, I don't like the lag that it happens. I know this one doesn't lag because it sends automatically, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure there's only one change. Yep. If you don't want to type it, or if you have more than one, if you do dot, it adds all of them. So if we do git status again, you'll see it added. Git commit dash m, oh, more than one, dash m. Added port to JSON. I don't know what I deleted. Git push. to make sure that went well, we're gonna go back to here. Commit should be 4 now. There it is. So we can go back here. We can do git pull. Okay. Okay, and then it was just deploy, right? Will this make a new one or will it update it is my question. Fair sandbox, yeah, that's the current one. So yeah, I want to find out, remember this one is the 2020-05. So it ends in 057. I guess this is a better thing to remember. So hopefully this is the final answer. Either way, I think this is the final test. It's pretty late. I've coded and streamed a lot today, and so I really hope this one works because I don't really know what else could be the issue so far without like having to backtrack and focus more. That's the only thing I can think of since the problem with the last ones have just been not a YAML file. That was the issues I mainly had with the first 2 attempts, was the YAML files. But now it looks like the YAML files are being accepted, and so it looks like it's just the server. So I think the only issue is, if you remember when we tested it, we did specify the port right here to 8080, and the test went perfect. And I think I read somewhere, it might be here, that it says that it's always looking for port 8080, which is a normal port for testing outside of React. That's like a normal port used by developers. So hopefully with just specifying to always start. Oh. Okay, moment of truth once again. Close. I'm gonna give it a little more time just because I really want to make sure that it's all ready. 3, 2, 1. Here goes nothing. Oh, that's a lot of. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. Oh, console. Incorrect content fetched. Please reload. What does that mean? Okay, this time error, sir. The server encountered an error and could not complete your request. Please try again. Okay, so that's weird. I keep getting server errors when I run it. So one thing I want to know is, did it make a new one? Yes, it did. This is the new one, 100%. Okay, so sadly it didn't work. Gonna call it there. I'll probably do more research tomorrow. So thank you anyone who watches in the future, who watch in the past. No, I'm kidding. Um, I didn't get to where I wanted to today, but that's a big thing you have to learn as a developer. Um, I can almost 100% say, not 100%, but like I'd say 90 to 95% of the time when I start working on something, I don't get to where I want to be. But 80% of the times, I don't go backwards. So even if it doesn't feel like process because you don't get to go forward, you're still eliminating all of the other problems. And the biggest thing that senior developers say, the difference between them and like a junior or younger developer, is that they've just gone through so many errors. They just have quickly found, like with muscle memory, where the problem usually lies. So right now, we're all just learning that muscle memory. We're all learning where the problem usually lies. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm learning the problem. And then after I fix this one, if I ever get the problem again, I'll probably be able to fix it, which is really nice. That's what learning is. So even though I'll admit I was a little saddened that I wasn't able to deploy, we got one technically. We technically got one with the Hello World. So, but 1 out of 5 or 6, maybe 7, not the best odds. So we'll change the odds tomorrow. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for joining. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I'm having a lot of fun streaming, so I'll keep doing it. Hopefully, this ASMR is fun for people because it's nice. It's not draining on my voice. Yeah. So I'll call it a night. Thank you for being here, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Good night.